All right, let's start. Please join your hand in front of the heart. And bow. Hello, everyone. Hello. A few days ago, I was with one of you, and we were talking, exchanging about the Dhamma, about the teachings, and I realized that there was something that was not clear. That was not clear. Some things were clear, some things were not clear. So let's say that today I would like to clarify a little bit something very important, very, very important. And this is somehow where we are going with why we are there, why we meet. And if you look at the YouTube channel, for example, I didn't call it "Don't worry, be happy," right? I didn't call it "Open your chakras." It is not called "Aiming at the heavenly realms." It is not called "Transcending consciousness." It is not called "Know thyself." It is not called "Learn Buddhism." It is not called "Finding your true self." It is not called "Manifesting your reality," your best reality. It is not called "You are pure awareness," or it's not called "Developing psychic powers." It is not called "Developing higher state of consciousness." It is called Nibbana unplugged. It could have been called unplugged Nibbana. The very first word is Nibbana unplugged. Nibbana is the Pali word, and it's known as in Sanskrit as Nirvana, but in Pali, in the language, mother tongue of the Buddha, it's Nibbana. Meditate, inquire, awaken. Nibbana. That's the goal. That's the goal. This is at least among other things, but this is what I would like to offer you, to make you, to show the way to Nibbana, to attain Nibbana, to achieve Nibbana, to have an experience of Nibbana. All right, is it a thing? Is it a location? In really summing up, it's called the unconditioned, the deathless. It's the kind of antithesis of what samsara is all about. Okay. And of course, we have skillful means, but here, this way, it's not all, well, this expression pink and fluffy, it's not all about love and about happiness. If you look at the Buddha's teachings, the word happiness doesn't appear that often. We talk about suffering, we talk about dispassion, we talk about relinquishment, we talk about cessation, we talk about Nibbana. So Nibbana, you've been acquainted to it, not knowing what it is, but maybe most probably the very first time you encountered that word is through the Four Noble Truths. And in the Four Noble Truths, how to say that? In the Four Noble Truths, you understand what the Buddha's teachings is all about. The very first noble truth, there is suffering. What is suffering? Birth, aging, sickness, and death. Sorrow, grief, pain, lamentation. Being aware of what we like and the ones we love, and being put to what we don't like and to people we do not love. First noble truth, there is suffering. And in that noble truth, aging, sickness, and death. As a condition, there is birth. Right? Because you are born, then inevitably, whatever you do, if you want it or not, there will be aging, sickness, and death. They are two together. First noble truth, okay. Then the origin of suffering, craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for non-existence. Third noble truth, with this very cessation of craving, there is cessation of suffering. To see these two noble truths is that altogether, this you are born based on your past karma, the karma you accumulated in past lives. This very craving of existence and of sensual pleasures is what is a condition for this current birth. And we are not used to think about this way. I've been raised in a very, let's say, atheistic environment where I thought, okay, my parents made love, then, of course, sperm, eggs met, and then development, maybe a kind of magical sparkle, we can call it life, and then growing of this new body, and then, okay, somehow I appeared out of nowhere. And for a long time, I lived with the view that, okay, with the breakup of the body at death, it's over. So whatever I do, then better to kind of take the most of life, right? And without even knowing that all my thoughts and so on, all my deeds can have, of course, they can have consequences. But never, I didn't know that there is a kind of accumulative process, karma. That everything you say, you think, and you do, volitional formations, have actually a kind of accumulative process. And this is what will actually be the ground for renewed existence. I thought, okay, when this body is gone, everything is gone. But even if you think like this, that doesn't mean that it will occur like this. And your consciousness will actually, well, I don't want to talk about the details of rebirth, but let's say very, not being very exact, but that the consciousness is actually the source for rebirth. Okay, you can tell me, okay, but I don't remember all those cycles of rebirth. All right. Some can remember their past lives and then understand, okay, this was done. And the Buddha also say, okay, it's like how he described it. It's like he could see like beings entering a room and in a house and then getting out of the house, like depending on their past karma, they enter the house, and depending of the accumulation of good karma, bad karma, they go to that, they get out of the house and they go to that direction or that direction. They go either to the hell realms or to the heavenly realms or in the human form. We can take that as an assumption. The insight practice will help you to really realize that for yourself. So, and because you are reborn, then you have experiences, painful experiences, agreeable experiences, quite of in between experiences. And because you do not have, you have a kind of wrong view, not knowing what's going on. Not knowing about the Four Noble Truths. You think that sometimes it's fair. What happens to you sometimes is quite unfair. And sometimes it really looks like chaos. Like, oh, I'm being a victim of what others do to you. And also being driven in that direction, according to your desires. And you must probably think that life is about, having desire, fulfilling them. But then at some point, I say, but I'm not that happy. All right, this is when. So, and then you say, okay, maybe if I would have that, if I would be with that person, in that, if this would stop, then I would be happy. And this is the search, of course, outside, trying to fulfill, achieve, and get more this, less of that, rejecting, blocking, taking. All right. The Buddha came to this world when the Dhamma was absent. So he had to figure a way to understand that, why people suffer, why people are reborn. He asked clearly himself this question: what is the condition for birth? He really contemplated that question during his own awakening. So, and what he realized, so there is the origin of suffering, that there is cessation of suffering, the end of craving. And the fourth noble truth is what? It is the way leading to the end of suffering, and it is the Noble Eightfold Path. How to abandon craving. You say, okay, I wish I could, I will try to willingly abandon craving. And then I'm free from bondage. But there is a path. The path, and I talk about it over and over again with the 3 trainings. So first, development of virtues through right livelihood, right speech, right intention, right action. Then the development of concentration, right mindfulness, right mindfulness, right effort. Did I say it already? Right view. And development of wisdom, panya, right view. Right understanding. So this is the path in order to end craving, cessation of craving. Then this is freedom from bondage in samsara, the end of any, you cut off the conditions for renewed existence. For renewed existence in any kind of realms, even the very attractive heavenly realms. The end of samsara by reaching Nibbana in the fourth noble truth. Dispassion, cessation of craving, Nibbana. Nibbana unplugged, right? To come back to the very first. To the introduction. So, Nibbana unplugged. Why unplugged? Because there is practice. Practice, development of virtue, first training. You cannot do that through a screen. You cannot do that through reading something. You cannot do that through listening, watching a video. You have to practice in daily life. When you have no support, the only support is yourself. Because the practice of sitting meditation in right concentration, right mindfulness, it's when you are not connected. It's being in the body, closing eyes, being when we say secluded from the world. As I said, here it's not learning Buddhism. It's not intellectual knowledge. It's unplugged, it's direct. Through insight practice, you have insight knowledge. Is a knowledge that you acquire through the insight practice, and which is very different than intellectual knowledge, then different than reading a book, different than watching me or listening to me. This is something that really has the power to completely change the way you perceive the world and reality. It's very different than hearsay knowledge or than logical knowledge. actually it's not even that logical at all. But you have somehow to develop insight knowledge. And this passion will actually arise from those insight knowledge, from practice. And in order to really have a mind which is proper for insight practice, it's recommended that you develop mindfulness during the day and right concentration. What is right concentration? The jhanas. Until fourth jhanas. You can develop until the arupat jhanas, the formless jhanas. This training requires hard work. I'm sorry. But I have to be very honest. Of course, there is so just to wrap this up, Nibbana unplugged, meaning this is the goal: freedom from bondage, purification of mind, and liberation from bondage and from the cycle of samsara, reaching Nibbana. Unplug means practice, heedfulness, effort, investment, time investment. All right. So, in the fourth noble truth, the Buddha was very clear about, let's say, we have to use this kind of phrasing, but about the destination. So, of course, it was realistic also and say, okay, maybe in this lifetime, not everyone will be able to reach full liberation and to, let's say, seize the arising of the five aggregates of clinging, which we call a being. But anyway, he taught the same way to everyone, to lay people and to monastics. And of course, I also know that among you, Nibbana, maybe I just want a quick release of my interest right here, right now through meditation. I just want to be a good person. Or I just want to prepare myself in order to go to the heavenly realms for my next life. All right, you can keep joining those talks. But Nibbana unplugged. This is if you want to. If you realize that, all right, this is something that I really would like to understand more, explore. There is something that I feel I have to know about. Nibbana, right? Then it's possible. Then I will give you all what I know about how to get there. There is a method, there is a way out, and it's very clear. Otherwise, yes, depending on our actions, we keep being reborn here and there, suffering. Of course, we don't remember, nevertheless. And this happiness then can be achieved through this kind of practice, through this purification of mind, the origin of the unwholesome states, which are greed, hatred, and delusion, is removing, cutting off greed, hatred, and delusion from the mind. When they are not there, then the kind of happiness is an unworldly happiness. It has nothing to do what you cannot even imagine. It's not that you will suddenly become very rich or that painful situation won't arise or that you won't have any painful feelings anymore and or that everybody will love you. Nobody will harmful to you. It's not this kind of happiness. So I wanted to be very clear about what it is all about and what is the goal of the teachings, Nibbana, and unplugged is the practice. Some of you told me, yeah, you know, Muriel, sometimes I do not have much time to practice and I do not apply everything that you say. That's fine. That's really, really fine. Okay? I'm not expecting everyone to be in a kind of bhikkhunis or nun mode and to practice very strictly everything what I say. All right? I'm not judging. It's really up to you. I will keep giving during the Sunday Dharma talk some skillful meaning to deal skillfully with relationships and how to develop wholesome actions and make you realize that yes, it shapes the life, your life, and maybe you will realize that using those wholesome deeds, then things start to change in your well-being and also in the outside condition as a direct consequence. So this, yes, I'm pretty happy to do that. But really, what is in the background, or what must actually be obvious and be possible, even being not monastic, is the reaching Nibbana. And then, as I talked about, that there are 4 stages. So 4 times you will have you will, it's a bit technical, but 4 times you will reach Nibbana. So stream entry, first time, when you have, it is said, this I don't know directly, but it is said that only 77 lifetime before ending the cycle of samsara. Second time, second path, once returner, meaning that you will come only once as a human being, one lifetime before full liberation. Then if you go further, third path, no returner, meaning you will go to the heavenly realms and get enlightened there. And arahantship, arahat, fully liberated being, then no more rising of the five aggregates, no more renewed existence, free from the cycle of samsara. At each stage, there are 10 fetters, and at each stage, some are gone, cut off, no longer arise in the mind. This is the practice. The practice is, there is the method, so the 4 foundations of mindfulness and developing insight through looking at the 3 characteristics of existence over and over again: impermanence, not self, and unsatisfactoriness on all phenomena, internally, externally, past, present, future, at a small scale, at the big scale. This is the way. Yes, I was talking about the 10 fetters. So 10 fetters, the first 3 to be removed are Sakayaditi, the view of a self, let's say. Doubt is removed, doubt about the Dharma. There is increased faith about the Dharma. I say, oh yeah, those teachings lead you somewhere. And there is no longer doubt about the technique, about the method. And you abandon also all kind of rites and rituals, thinking that by doing some acts, some rituals, you will get enlightened. You do not have to do the practice. This is gone. Then second path, what is gone? I don't remember. I think that second path, I will check, but I think that the second path is just the reduction of desire for sensual pleasures and reduction of ill will. Then a third path is eradication of ill will, eradication of desire for sensual pleasure. Oh, yeah. And the 3 last is that you what is cut off is the desire for the rupa jhanas, absorption, material absorption, the removing of the desire for formless jhanas, and restlessness. Those 10 things, if you develop the 4th path, will be cut off. Won't arise anymore. Liberation of mind. This is why we call purification of mind. It can feel very foreign, very foreign. But this is what the Buddha discovered. And this is why he taught for 45 years. And it's available. It's available. There are some adjustments you have to do. Okay. So the point here is that those Sunday Dharma talks will keep going on. I would like to open a second group. It would still be free teachings. It will be for people who say, okay, I want to really know about enlightenment, about Nibbana, about liberation of mind. I want to know. I want to do it. And I'm ready to invest. Or, you can dip a toe. You can dip a toe. I mean, I'm not there to have a whip and tell you, do it, do it, do it. I cannot force anyone. I just explain, and you do. You do it in 7 days. You do it in 7 weeks. You do it in 7 months. You do it in 7 years. I will not push you. I mean, it would be strange to put pressure on anybody, to exhort, maybe, yes, to tell you, yeah, maybe to indicate the pitfalls in your practice, yes. So I'm very willing to open this second group. We can make it so that people from overseas, yes, can also join. Not only European, but find a time. And this could be very interactive, meaning that it would be fruitful to talk about the practice. To say, okay, I explored this, and I had this kind of experiences, or this kind of knowledge arose in me. And what's next? Or maybe I'm stuck there. I don't know how to do it. And I would like to know how to get out of there. Because this is when we talk, when we expose, when we share that, not really comparing, I obtained these 5 jhanas, or I got these 8 jhanas, or this is not the point. This is not the point, okay? But really talking about the Dhamma, and also acquiring, talking about what might look like really unpleasant things to talk about, like the latent tendencies, the taints of the mind, greed, hatred, and delusion, and difficulties in the practice, in developing virtues, and so on. Really talking about the Dhamma. And for example, also maybe offering more elaborated teachings about, for example, dependent origination. Understand the conditions that propel this renewed existence. And I would say, if I do that without you having a solid foundation in the practice, sitting practice, concentration practice, insight practice, it's helpful always to plant a seed. But we cannot really understand it. So let me know if you would like to join. All right. If there is already someone who is interested. If there is more than one person, then I will open this kind of area for us to talk. And it will be private, not going on the internet for everyone to hear. All right? It is not psychology. All right? I will not solve your life problems. Somehow the practice can help for some problems. From others kind of problems, maybe it's better to go for a person specialized in traumas. All right? Because I will tell you that the content of the thoughts somehow doesn't matter. Or I will tell you to see form as form. So I will strip out away the content, the meaning, the purpose, the stories. And that doesn't mean that somehow, if you do the practice, your personality will be washed away and you will be a kind of personality-less, identity-less person. Actually, personality traits, the character, the temperament somehow stays. Because this is just the operation of the five aggregates. Some traits, some mental patterns, there are things that will be washed away and won't reappear. So it will change you. It will change you. For some aspects, but for others, yeah. I mean, if you are being raised as a white European woman, I don't know, with French cuisine, then you will eat fresh cuisine at home. This is your upbringing, right? That doesn't mean that suddenly you will have to quit your job or get divorced or I don't know. All right. But things will change, yes. So let me know. There is no engagement meaning that you can come, you can go. It doesn't mean it's not important. Okay? You can come, you can go away, you can come back and go away and come back. There is no conditions. It will be available. You want to practice, you want to know more, you want to have some directions, you want to have answers regarding the Dharma, then it will be there. Okay? Again, I tell for free. What else to be said? Yes, I will not somehow give you anything. I won't be the one changing you. You can actually go to a really different teacher. You can go to a monastic tradition. All right, there won't be any direct transmission. I won't use my energy to make you enlightened or something like this. All right, it will be your practice. Why would you go for Nibbana? Right? There is, if I remember correctly, but I think there was this simile that the Buddha, he was teaching most often in park, in the forest. He just took, maybe put his hand on the floor, and then there was some kind of mud or ground on his finger. And he addressed the bhikkhus and he said, "What do you think? Is that this dirt, this earth that is on my fingertips, is more or less than the whole earth, planet Earth?" Of course, the answer is obvious. It's much, much less. There is no comparison between this little bit of dust on the fingertip and the earth of the planet Earth. So big. And he said, you see, the suffering that you have before streamentary, the first stage of enlightenment, is like the earth. The suffering that you have left after streamentary is like this earth on my fingertips. So this is kind of way of motivating people to practice. All right. If you are looking for temporary release and well-being, then I can also encourage you to go and find some. There are some pretty good guided meditation outside. People do that way better than I do. I don't want to drive you away. Guided meditation can be very relaxing, very helpful for the body and for the nervous system. Very good. Very helpful. One has to practice this kind of meditation from time to time. But it's still temporary release. It's still temporary removing of greed, hatred, and delusion. And then it's back again. And then there is the risk. Let's say that bad karma is accumulated, not that good karma, and then rebirth in the not that nice destination. We don't care. We don't know what how we will be. We don't remember. We will have to kind of start again. And the practice, inside practice, will make you understand the danger of that very craving that is the origin of suffering. You will understand. And by understanding all what's happening, all kind of conditioned phenomena and their causes for arising, then you will understand, I'd say, the pain and kind of how others function and why they do this and that. Because it's not different than you, right? Then compassion arises naturally. And there won't be a kind of transcendent meaning or about being bigger or like an immense, all-knowing, omniscient being afterwards. Reality, experience, it will still be cognizing, smelling, hearing, touching, tasting, seeing. It won't be different than that. So it's not to transform you into a super being with many powers, although they can arise. All right, so let me know so that I organize that. And you can contact me via Messenger on the Facebook profile. For those who have my email address, you can also contact me. Write a comment between the video. Well, you'll find a way to contact me, right? On Instagram. If you do not want, that's pretty fine. All right. This format here will not change. This is another, I'm just opening another space for those who really want to interact, right? Not only receiving, practicing, discussing, discovering, all right? So that was today's talk. Thank you for your attention.